Adam, how are you doing?
I'm perplexed. How are you?
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
We kind of started our conversation, and then you came along, and so it's nice to see you, as always.
It's like we've always been here, and you just sort of turned on and been talking.
Yeah, and here we are. I tell you what, just 2 seconds, because I've needed this cup of tea today. As far as I understand, you've been pretty busy today, too.
It's been a busy day. Yeah.
Today specifically was just stupid busy for me. It was kind of like, today is the day that we picked that we'd hang out together and play some music for you guys. And it's kind of like, this was probably not the right day to do it.
Just think of how empty tomorrow will be.
I am hoping it's empty tomorrow because I am off work. I don't have the day job tomorrow.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah.
Hey, it was your mom's birthday yesterday.
It was my mom's birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, how nice.
Mama Coolong.
Cheers, thanks for that.
It was my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Actually, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's not that I forget.
But
they're 3,500 miles away.
I know.
And so it's just...
But a text will reach them in milliseconds.
My mom's funny with text. Sometimes you'll text her and she'll answer right away, and then other times you'll text her and you'll not hear from her for...
It's only when you need confirmation of something, or it's Mom, are you okay, that you won't hear back for...
But if I am correct, my mom turned 80.
Oh, are we doing that? I didn't know we said ladies' ages.
My mom, one of the things I love about her is that she knows exactly who she is.
Fantastic.
My mom just motors on.
Okay. Strong women, you know. I have a lot of them in my family. I don't know about yours.
That's why we're the man we are.
You don't mess with the Irish ladies in my family.
And we're from different side of the tracks in that regard.
Yeah.
So it obviously just applies to Northern Irish women, and not just whether you're Protestant, Catholic, or of any kind of color.
Very true. Very true.
Good, strong. And in fact, actually, that just brings up a point. The reason I know this to be true, that it's just women, and women get things done in Northern Ireland, is because it's the anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement.
That's right.
And one of the puzzle pieces that helped bring everything together was Bill and Hillary Clinton,
for sure,
heading over. And Hillary specifically, I don't know how it came about, whether it was something that the women in the Lower Ormo instigated, or there was some other mechanics behind it. But Hillary came and met with the women of the Lower Ormo and other women in the Lamplighter Cafe on the Lower Ormo to chat about, what the heck, guys? What can we do about this? And that was one of the key little moments.
That's
so
awesome.
Hillary, now whether you know or not, is the Chancellor of Queen's University in Belfast.
Yes, I did know that.
So her and Bill, amongst other people, we're getting together this week and chit-chatting about stuff for the 25th anniversary.
That's excellent. Maybe they stayed in the Bill and Hillary Clinton suite at the top of the Europa.
So we now have the Joe Biden suite.
Oh, they just rename it.
No, not in the Europa. I might get this wrong, and somebody can tell me. John can tell me. I think it was the Grand Hotel Belfast that Joe stayed in. So now we have 2 presidential suites.
Gotcha.
When myself and Mrs. Rich went to Ireland with Hounds of Finn, she and I stayed in the presidential suite. And we did not plan that.
Happy accidents.
It was a happy accident. What? This is the room? This is all they got?
That's funny, because I remember being in Belfast with my band, Wild Colonial Boys, and we were staying in the Europa, and I had to pick something up from the guy driving our tour bus, Owen. And come up to whatever the room number was. I get off the elevator. I'm like, oh, no way. Of course, he's in the Clinton suite. I'm down there double bunking on the second floor. He's up in the suite. It took him 3 minutes to open the door. He had to walk so far. Nice hotel.
I like the Europa. That was
Once they stopped bombing it, it was a nice hotel.
That was the only time that I ever stayed in the Europa.
Yeah.
So,
No.
you know, when you live in Belfast,
You don't stay in the nice hotels very
you
often.
don't really need to stay in the hotels
No,
too
probably
often.
not. Probably not.
So, what are we going to sing this week, Adam?
Well, this one was your pick.
Let me tell you about Crowded House.
Please do.
So we're going to play you Weather With You by Crowded House. And it's actually from Woodface, which is an excellent, excellent album. Although they had big hits before then. And I was surrounded by friends that loved this album.
Okay.
And I liked this album well enough. I didn't really think about it too much, but I did own it. Weather With You was the single that was basically all over the place.
Yeah, it was here. I know the song.
And it wasn't until one day I was listening to Fall at Your Feet
Okay.
on headphones, and there's a part in the middle, like the bridge in the middle, and I think it's Neil that sings. Well, Neil sings almost all of the tracks on it, with Tim singing harmonies.
These are the Finn brothers.
This is when Neil Finn and Tim Finn were in the band together, because they weren't always. They didn't start out that way, and they didn't end that way. And it's Tim in the background screaming the harmonies at the top of his lungs, like in the distance from the mic. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And then suddenly started to absorb the rest of the... It was kind of like that was a key to the rest of the album.
I like it. One of the Radiohead guys described Neil Finn as one of the most important songwriters in the last, 100 years or something. He was really effusive about him. And hearing the songwriting going on in this and the production choices, you can definitely tell the guy's got something between the ears. He knows what's going on.
What's funny is when he's with Tim and they're writing together, the songs are elevated.
Chocolate and peanut butter.
It really is. It is that. That's exactly what it is. There's just such a compliment to each other. And in fact, the first album was such a great success, but Tim Finn was not part of the band at this point.
Okay.
Tim and Neil had made an album called Finn between them, and Crowded House had its own songs, and the record company rejected them.
Okay. A common tale.
And so Woodface was just not going to happen. And Neil asked Tim if he could basically use some of the songs, some of the cast-offs or whatever it was, I don't know the full story behind it, from the Finn album in this new album. And so a mixture of some of the rejected songs reworked, and then these new songs, and that's what became Woodface, which was definitely their biggest album, the one that brought them to attention, definitely in the UK.
Okay.
I don't know about here, because Don't Dream It's Over was massive.
That was pretty
before.
big here. But yeah, there's a significant time gap in between those two things, right?
I can't remember when that first Crowded House album was out. So, somebody, our technical guy, can put it right here. Tim Finn has just recently, I don't know if they've had a relationship for a long time, but just recently released...
Since they're brothers.
No, not with Neil.
Oh,
with
see.
Andy White, who's a singer-songwriter, folk guitar player, poet guy from Belfast.
Oh, okay.
Who was on the Good Vibrations record label. Him and Tim have released an album.
Nice.
Actually, him, Tim, and Liam O'Manley are releasing something too. They're called ALT.
All right.
But if Liam's not around, they're just called AT.
It's easy that way.
I don't know how it works, but Andy's a genius. Andy, I love Andy a lot.
Nice.
So
Well, I've seen Neil Finn live, and it was a great show.
Oh, really? Where did you see him?
He played at the local to us here where we live in the Twin Cities, the Basilica Block Party.
Yes.
And he played there, and one of my buddies from Donegal actually was like, "Oh, we gotta go. So we got tickets and went and saw Neil Finn, and I was like, "Is that the Crowded House guy?" He's like,
"Yeah, is that the Crowded House guy?"
He's brilliant, and it was great.
Yeah, he's like we said, he's
all the way from New Zealand.
He's a great songwriter. I have played this song often. Hopefully, I'll be able to play it again today.
Well, I'm following you here, so we'll see what happens.
1, 2, 3.
Nicely done.
As always, we got there in the end.
Hey, that was a tea with the lads first.
It was a rising rendition.
Normally we rehearse these things, but that time we just went cold. I think it went
You know, you talk about the Finn brothers. Not a patch on the Coolong and Riches.
Yeah, right.
Cheers, Adam.
Cheers, Leslie.
Everybody, thank you so much. We have been getting great comments, great suggestions for songs. Go ahead and subscribe and click the notification button, and especially the like button too. Subscribing's great. Hitting the like button shows YouTube that we're doing something that you like.
Yeah. Yeah, if you leave a comment, hey, leave a song request, song suggestion.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll put it on the list. We got some great suggestions that you haven't even seen yet. You have no idea.
Yeah, it's scary in some ways when we get these song requests and we decide to do them. But it's really challenging, and it's kind of fun always in the end.
It's absolutely fun. It's always nice to step out of your comfort zone and do something musically that you don't always do, and that's great.
Exactly.
That's great. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.